Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. It is Monday, November the 27th. Good to have you with us. We've got your HCC news and information for the next half hour. Of course, returning from a long holiday break. It was nice. And my co-host, Dr. Nicholas Cox with the history department, joining me right now. Good to see you, Nick. It's kind of hard coming back after a holiday, though.
Hey, you know what? It was a nice break, but I'm glad to be back at work as well. How about you?
That's right. Well, Nick, it's good to be back, but unfortunately, we have some very sad news to start our show this morning. Over the weekend, longtime host of HCCTV's Dialogue Houston, Larry Payne, passed away. Larry was a well-known activist who worked tirelessly across the city and the state. He was a true public servant, offering his expertise to help those whenever they asked. Most recently, he was appointed and chaired a special committee appointed by Mayor Sylvester Turner. We knew Larry here at HCCTV because he has been doing or had been doing Dialogue Houston nonstop for more than 30 years. He was a fixture at HCCTV. He was a colleague, and most importantly, many of us considered him our friend. He will be missed. We are live this morning, Nick, on our district Facebook page and YouTube channel. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and also on HCCTV as well.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. We're live on the Houston Community College District's Facebook page and YouTube. We're live at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. And as you noted, we're also on X, LinkedIn, wherever you want to look for our social media.
That's right. Okay. We're talking programs at HCC. One of them, we're needed in, especially this time of year when it gets a lot cooler, and especially during the summer. We're talking about our HVAC program. We've got a faculty member to join us now. Roger Miller is a faculty with HVAC and refrigeration. Roger, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
Looking forward to hearing from you. Stick around. Yep. Nick will be with you in about 10 minutes.
All righty.
Okay, first off, it is Mental Health Monday, and we welcome back a human trafficking survivor to discuss a book that she recently published. Eileen Dong is the executive director of Hope Picks Global, a UN ambassador and a human trafficking survivor. Welcome back to the show, Eileen. We interviewed you about human trafficking in Houston. Since then, you've been appointed a UN ambassador. Congrats on that. Now, before we get to your book, some topics from a conference on gender-based violence, tell us about your nonprofit, Hope Picks Global.
Well, thank you, Todd. Thank you, HCCTV, for having me back again. Yes, Hope Picks Global is a nonprofit organization started in Houston, Texas. We provide services for survivors of human trafficking, as well as the types of gender-based violence, such as sexual assault and domestic violence. And we have just celebrated our 5-year anniversary with the next mission to build the first shelter in Houston.
Now, you recently held a conference at HCC on how to end gender-based violence. Tell us about that.
Yes, absolutely. So the conference was held on October the 26th, right during the October Domestic Violence Awareness Month. As you know, that gender-based violence are interconnected, whether it's human trafficking, domestic violence, and sexual assault. And during the conference, we have different level of experts as well as representatives from the UN, including myself and my esteemed colleagues from the UN talking about the SDGs, what it relates to human trafficking and gender-based violence. We also have a representative from Center for Countering Human Trafficking from DC to talk about the multidisciplinary collaboration, which is really key on how we can end human trafficking altogether. From there, we talked about labor trafficking, sex trafficking, mental health, as you mentioned. Everything is interconnected, and we hope that you can join us for the next conference.
And when will the next conference be? Has there been a date set? Or are we looking at next semester?
It hasn't been set yet. Historically, we held it during the October each year, so stay tuned on hopepicksglobal.org. And as soon as we have more details come out, we welcome you to join us.
Okay. You've also written a book. You had a sign-in event at the conference. Tell us about your book.
Yes, the book is, as you mentioned, I'm a survivor, and I wanted to share my story, but I realized that it's not just a pity party. A lot of people ask me after I speak at the conferences, like, what is your story? I said, well, now I have a book, you can read my story, but it's not just a pity party, as I mentioned, because when people read it, say, okay, this is what happened. Now what's next? And at first I thought, well, I don't really have like a happy ending. In my culture, I come from China. In Asia, it's like a happy ending. The cultural stigma is like you have a husband, you have a happy family with children, then you are happy. But I realized that I have come out of the really, the darkness, and I have started a nonprofit organization. I have walked myself up the ladder to become a UN ambassador today. So how can I show the people who are still going through that to really find the light and hope? And we just, we are in the holiday season, and so many people are going through the darkness. So I incorporated my story with that in mind to teach them a step-by-step guide. So that's why the book is called, Thank Your Predator, a guide to trauma recovery, because it's a step-by-step guide. But furthermore, I also incorporated a lot of charts and stats to educate, let's say, students, let's say faculty, let's say families about what human trafficking is really about. So many people still think, wow, this doesn't have anything to do with me, to do with us. Well, it's sad. But no, it is happening in your backyard. How can we really equip us by educating ourselves? And last but not least, as myself educate the law enforcement and the service providers on bridging the gaps between the survivors as well as the providers, how can they really learn? Because a lot of the issues is not that there are not survivors, I like to call them survivors, but they are not being identified, or they're not reporting because of a trust issue, because of systemic issue. So how can we really like minimize the gap and bridge the gap so that we can truly say bring the safety and the justice to the survivors while hold the perpetrators accountable?
You mentioned it's the holiday season. How can students, parents, and faculty learn about human trafficking prevention? I know we talked a little bit about this last time you were on the show, but maybe you can tell us more about it, and folks need to be reminded again.
Absolutely. I know that we talked about this before, and since the book, I have incorporated a resource guide, which is a complete guide. But in short, you can call the National Human Trafficking Hotline, which is also listed on there. But I'm gonna give you the number here, which is 1-888-3737-888. And I would strongly encourage you to put that phone number in your address book and also keep it the hotkey so that you can dial it. And another thing to watch out for is online grooming. I noticed that I still have a sore throat and I talk kind of weird right now, but when I'm sick and even when I'm not sick, we're on the phone so much on social media. I know that we're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and X LinkedIn and everything. So everyone is on social media. But what are we exposed to? Technology is a double-edged sword. So it really helps us enable us to be, at home and be able to broadcast our messages across the country, across the world. However, the perpetrators are also utilizing technology for grooming our youth. And I want to emphasize youth because a lot of the audience here are HCC students, but I also want to emphasize that it can happen to anyone from any age, any nationality, any even gender. Men and boys can be victims as well. So I wanted to emphasize that be careful about who you talk to when a stranger tried to groom you. But really, from the parents and from the teacher's point of view, from the faculty point of view, is to really give the attention, give the love to that student, to whether it's your loved one, your children, your grandchildren, because a lot of the issue is that they don't feel enough. One of the other resources I put on the resource guide is the power and control wheel. I strongly encourage you to look it up and look for what are the signs that they're trying to control you and everything.
Eileen Dong, she is the executive director of Hope Picks, a global and UN ambassador, and our Mental Health Monday guest. Eileen, congrats on the new book and everything you do. We look forward to seeing you again at HCC, and we're going to have the phone numbers and all the links and a link to your book as well in our social media post after the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eileen. All right, very important subject, and we're glad to get the information out there. Nick has got a guest who's going to talk about HVAC and our program with that. Nick?
Thank you, Todd. And welcome to the show, Roger Miller, faculty member in Houston Community College's HVAC and Refrigeration Program. Roger, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
So let's dive right in. Can you tell us what exactly is the HVAC department at HCC, and what do you guys do?
We do all training in HVAC and basic electricity and electricity as well. We cover residential, commercial, both refrigeration, air conditioning as well. We do chill water, smart buildings. Just there to serve the needs.
No, that's great. I imagine a lot of Houston residents right now are close, if not already, turning on their heat for the first time of the year. And I imagine some of them are going to have wake up and realize they need somebody to come out and help them fix anything that's been, gone wrong over the past year. So one of the questions that we'd like to know is, what can our students at HCC do in the HVAC program? What are the certifications and awards that students can complete?
We offer multiple certificates, both certificate and degrees. You can finish out with an associate's degree, but you can have residential certificates, commercial certificates, refrigeration, chill water. Again, most of your companies will require you to ride along as a helper to begin with before they put you in a $60,000 or $80,000 vehicle, sending you out on service calls. But like I say, it's an ever growing field. We keep our labs up to date and everything. Like I say, it's a very good program.
Now, these certificates that we offer in different subfields of HVAC or technology, I saw on our website that students can also complete an OSHA safety certificate. And so these are, I guess, what we would say they're stackable. Students can complete more than one, or maybe they only need one for the career of their choice.
Yes, sir, that is correct. We are implementing an OSHA certificate. It's a 10-hour program for the instructors to actually have to complete, as well as the students. They are very stackable because this field does overlap into other fields, so it has to be a stackable certificate.
And I noticed that our HVAC and presumably the OSHA certificates also are part of a larger workforce training program in construction trades. Is that right? Are there things related to HVAC adjacent to what your program does that would give a student more opportunities as well?
Yes, sir. It works tightly with the electrical program, as you would imagine, like I say, because the electricians bring the power to the units, and then the technicians take it from the disconnects into the units and things of this nature. So yes, like I said, we do work very closely with the electrical department as well as the construction.
Now, our certificates and our awards, they certainly need to meet state licensing and certificate expectations, right? Are students who complete these programs with us ending the program with those certificates and licenses as well? Is that something they do after the award?
Both. We do offer the EPA certification as part of the program. We do the testing that, but as far as your state license, that is a separate entity. It has to be done through the state. The college cannot, issue that test.
Okay, and in addition to those state licensing, I imagine our program is really tailored toward local employers, the businesses here in town that are looking for certified technicians. Can you speak a little bit about the Houston area job market?
Houston area job market is forever changing. We are experiencing new growth everywhere. We have a very, very open communication line with past employers that are always seeking new employees. We just recently had apartment complexes reach out to us in dire needs of technicians. I mean, this is a constantly growing field. Unfortunately, it is a higher turnover. People are always looking for the bigger money. So if someone offers them a few more dollars an hour, they want to go get it.
No, that makes sense. I saw on our site again that we have something like 6,000 to 7,000 jobs in Houston, but 300 to 500 every year, plus a kind of projected growth of 5 to 8% annually. So it sounds like a really great opportunity for our students. Those students you mentioned that are looking for a little bit more money and another opportunity, are they tending to move in the HVAC technician field upward into supervision, safety management, or opening their own enterprises? Are they tending to leave HVAC? What is your sense?
Normally, they spend about 3 years working for another company, then they actually open in their own companies. They want to be their own boss, and I keep trying to express to them, you're never your own boss. You're always working for someone.
That's right. The client becomes your boss, right?
That's it.
Well, no, that's wonderful. I imagine a lot of our students opening their own business is sort of the American dream, right? Set your own hours and have a little bit more autonomy over what you're doing. So one of the things that we always wonder about is how the workforce programs, including HVAC, of course, contribute to the greater economic development of the city. And it sounds like you guys are doing a really great program. Are there job fairs and placement services that the college offers to help our students, once they complete their certificates and their licenses, find these jobs?
Yes, they do a great job letting us know of job fairs, and we do send the students to them. Normally, the job fairs are looking for supervisors and things of this nature. They're not so much looking for the hands-on technician. And myself in my class, I teach hands-on, because you're not going to be hired in as a supervisor. They want you to work up the ladder and company train you for their policies and procedures.
Right. So we're providing the training for those entry level positions.
Yes, sir.
And on job learning and culture of the company. That's something you pick up once you get your foot in the door there.
Yes,
well, if we anticipate that the market for certified HVAC technicians is going to grow in Houston, what are some of the things that you foresee in terms of both the program at HCC's evolution, or maybe even the changing nature of the job? Some things like air conditioning are going to be, eternally in need of technicians here in Houston. But what are some of the new, more cutting edge type of labor that your program supports?
We are supporting more of the mini splits that are so popular right now. People are wanting ductless AC units. They're setting up more home offices. So they want an independent system, within their home, strictly for their office dwellings. And we're doing that. It's just, we have to cater to the needs of the community. Just multifamily living now, it's forever changing.
So just greater complexity inside residential and commercial properties.
Yes.
Okay. And do you sense that changes the way in which some of our courses and certificates at the college will be offered? Are there things in mind that might need to be adjusted to the new realities of the job market for us?
Yes, we are doing that. We're incorporating the smart thermostat, so everyone's controlling it now, without having to be there within the residence. It's just like she was talking about earlier. We do live on a double-edged sword. It's everything. Every people want to monitor it. They want that control, and we have to, keep up with technologies in doing so.
So, with our workforce programs, often these classes and training are done at centers of excellence at specific campuses. Where can HCC students take HVAC courses in your program? Which campuses are you guys offering these opportunities?
We're offering it there at Central, also at our South Campus on 288, and our Southeast Campus over on 45 in Woodridge.
So at least 3 different locations where students can pursue an HVAC certificate. And some of the ones that are adjacent, like an OSHA safety one or other construction trades, where might those be located?
At basically the same campus as any center of excellence.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we appreciate that. We look forward to hearing more about the program as things develop. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Roger. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you both. We've got a few announcements to make before we wrap up this morning's show. One of them, a big congrats. Mexican Consulate, the Consulate General of Mexico in Houston, and HCC Chancellor Dr. Margaret Ford Fisher have signed a 2023 Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU. The goal is to increase the educational level of Mexican nationals or persons of Mexican origin who live in the Houston area. Dr. Ford Fisher says this is just the beginning of a fruitful relationship between the two partners. Congrats once again. And it's not only, Nick, Mental Health Monday, but it is Mind Body Mondays as well.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. HCC Counseling, in partnership with the NAMI Greater Houston, is launching Mind Body Mondays. Its focus is on practices such as breath work, mindful walking, chair yoga, gentle stretches, and aromatherapy that participants can apply right away. It's open to HCC faculty and staff. It is today from noon to 1 p.m. and it's virtual. Check our post after the show for more information.
HCC will present selections presented by the instrumental and jazz ensembles. It happens 7:30 p.m. Thursday, November the 30th. It's at the HCC Heinen Theater. It is free. That's right, free, but registration is encouraged. Check our post after the show for more information. And we've also got another event coming up in December as well.
That's right, Todd. Across the college at the end of the year, we always have a lot of great opportunities to see staff, faculty, and student exhibitions. And this one, titled Through the Kaleidoscope, is the Fall Faculty Fashion Show. HCC's fashion program are celebrating their 40th anniversary, and this fall fashion show will include collections designed by faculty members in that program. It is at HCC Central in the Harmon Building. It is Friday, December 8th at 7:30 p.m. There is a $25 ticket cost, but that money goes right back into the program for students and to support the fashion program here at HCC. Check our post after the show for more information.
We've also got some art exhibitions going on. These in-person and virtual exhibitions feature art studio students across the system and will be juried for awards in a variety of mediums. It's running through December 8th, and it's at literally all of our galleries, our art galleries across the district. Registration not necessary. Everyone is welcome. Check our post after the show to find out where you can check these out. And we've got spring registration is in full swing right now. Don't wait. Now's the time to get the classes you want, especially those in-person classes, Nick.
That's right, Todd. Spring registration is open. The winter mini session starts right after finals for fall in December. So if you want to take a class this winter break, start signing up right away. Those winter mini sessions start soon and they are filling. But in the spring, we do have a regular term, a second start. We've got 5-week, 8-week, 4-week classes. It all depends on whatever program you're interested in. We're offering classes online anytime, online on a schedule, traditional classes in person. We have hybrids. We have hybrid labs. Anything you are looking for, go to hcc.edu/apply to see more about our programs, start dates, and options to cover the costs.
So tomorrow we've got a special guest joining us. It's Tasty Tuesday tomorrow, and I remember these guests from last year. It's the return of a Taos restaurant founded by members of the Pueblo tribe. They'll be here tomorrow. Very interesting people. Make sure you check that out. And later this week, we'll travel to Sugar Land for Family Fun Day to see how they light up Constellation Field for the holidays. All that and more up later this week, and it's good to be back. Good to have you back, Nick.
Thank you. That Tasty Tuesday sounds wonderful. One of my favorite meals was at the Smithsonian Museum of Native American History there in Washington, D.C., where the entire museum cafe is Native American recipes and menu items. It's wonderful. Sounds good.
I've actually visited that museum. I didn't know they had a cafe, so now I have something to check out the next time I go back.
Well, you guys have a great week. See you next Monday.
Thanks, Nick, and all of you have a great day. We'll be back live tomorrow at 10 a.m. for Up to the Minute.